Saludos, bienvenidos al canal In Solidum Lawyers, tu guía de confianza en personal data protection. In the current era, where information flows freely across digital borders, protecting our personal data has become as crucial as safeguarding our own home. Welcome to In Solidum Lawyers, where privacy is not a luxury, but a right. In Ecuador, personal data protection regulations are designed to grant each individual power over their personal information. The ARCO rights, access, rectification, cancellation, and opposition are each citizen's shield against the sometimes intrusive handling of their data. These rights are the legislative response to a growing need for transparency and autonomy in the management of personal information. Today, we are going to break down each of these rights, which not only allow you to know how your data is used, but also how you can rectify, cancel, or even oppose its use when necessary. These rights are tools that allow you to maintain control of your digital footprint and, by extension, your private life. Because in cyberspace, where every click leaves a mark, knowing and exercising your ARCO rights is more than a security measure, it is an affirmation of your autonomy. So join us on this journey through the rights that protect you in the vast and sometimes overwhelming world of digital information. When we talk about the right of access in the framework of data protection regulations in Ecuador, we refer to each person's ability to know precisely which personal data of theirs are being processed, where and for on what purpose. It is not merely a matter of curiosity, it is an essential aspect of your right to privacy. To exercise the right of access, you must submit a request to the data processing responsible party, the entity or company that collects and uses them. This request must be answered free of charge within a period established by law, providing you with a complete and clear response. The information you are entitled to is not limited to simple confirmation that your data is processed. You must receive a copy of the personal data subject to processing, as well as detailed information about their origin, the purposes of the processing, and the categories of data handled. You also have the right to know who your data is shared with, including the identification of third-party recipients and the anticipated period of conservation of your personal data. It is your right to be informed about the data collected about you, how they are stored, how they are protected, and how you can control them. At In Solidum Lawyers, we advocate for transparency and the empowerment of the data subject. Therefore, we guide you on how to effectively exercise your rights so you feel secure that your privacy is protected. Accuracy is key in the information age, and when it comes to your personal data, it is your inalienable right to ensure that they are correct and current. This is what the right of rectification guarantees according to Ecuadorian legislation on data protection. It is not just an administrative matter, but a form of respect for your identity and your personal history. When you exercise the right of rectification, you are taking the reins of how the world sees and understands you through your data. Whether it's a simple error in your email address or a discrepancy in your employment history, you have the authority to request changes or updates to reflect reality accurately. The request for rectification must be directed to the data processing responsible party. This entity is obligated not only to correct errors, but also to inform about the rectification to any third party to whom your data has been disclosed. Thus, the update of your information is expressed through all the channels where it was shared. ensuring coherence and truth. Imagine being able to erase your digital trail as if you press a backspace key on the vast internet machine. That, in essence, is the right of cancellation. In the context of Ecuadorian law, it is the power you have to decide when your personal data should disappear from the records of any entity that possesses them. This right is not absolute, it is exercised under specific conditions. For example, you can invoke it when your data is no longer necessary for the purpose with which it was collected, or if you have previously withdrawn your consent. It also applies when data processing is illegal or when a legal obligation requires it. When requesting the cancellation of your data, the responsible party for their processing must act without undue delay, as long as no legitimate interest or legal basis justifies their conservation. In addition, the suppression must be communicated to all those who have received your data, unless this turns out to be impossible or requires disproportionate efforts. The right of cancellation is a critical component of control over your personal information. Here, at In Solidum Lawyers, we understand that your privacy is an extension of your personal freedom. We help you understand and exercise this right, ensuring that your data are treated with the respect and caution you deserve. After all, in today's digital world, being the owner of your data is being the owner of your destiny. The right of opposition is a powerful tool in your personal privacy arsenal, a shield against unwanted uses of your data. According to the current regulation in Ecuador, this right allows you to say no to certain types of processing of your personal data. It is especially relevant when it comes to direct marketing, market research, or profile creation that may affect your rights and freedoms. Exercising the right of opposition means that you can at any time ask the entity that handles your data to stop processing them based on your particular situation. If your data is being used for direct marketing, cessation must be immediate and without excuses. The entity that manages your data is obligated to cease processing unless it can demonstrate legitimate and convincing reasons to continue, which prevail over your interests, rights, and freedoms, and/or for the formulation, exercise, or defense of claims. At In Solidum Lawyers, we consider that your private life is non-negotiable. Our commitment is to ensure that you understand and can invoke your right of opposition whenever you deem it necessary. Because when it comes to your personal data, you have the last word. In our digital environment, information is a precious asset and as such must be handled with caution. This is where the right of limitation of processing comes into play, a key piece of data protection legislation in Ecuador. This right allows you, under certain conditions, to request that the processing of your personal data be restricted. What does this mean? That you can ask for your data to be stored but not used or processed. This right is applicable in specific situations. For example, when you question the accuracy of your personal data and require verification, or when processing is illegal but you prefer restriction of use rather than deletion. It is also relevant if the data are no longer needed for the processing purposes, but you need them for the formulation, exercise, or defense of claims. Additionally, if you have exercised your right of opposition and it is pending verification as to whether the legitimate reasons of the entity that manages your data prevail over yours, then you can request the limitation of the processing of your data during this verification process. As we close this chapter on the protection of your personal data, remember that privacy is not an abstract concept in the digital age. It is your identity. It is your essence in the connected world. At In Solidum Lawyers, our mission is to safeguard that inalienable right. We have equipped you with the knowledge to exercise your ARCO rights, essential tools so that you can maintain control over your information on the net. If you have found value in this information, we invite you to support our cause. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications so you don't miss any updates. Your participation is vital. Your questions and experiences enrich our forum and strengthen our community. Your voice and your rights are the reason for our work. Committed to your defense, and In Solidum Lawyers, we move forward, protecting what belongs to you. Until next time, keep your data safe and your privacy intact. Because when you are informed, you are empowered.